At the systemic level, your skill of feeling calm and happy whilst alone and enjoying the peace of your own company was bent out of shape at some point. And you're currently living with the effects of that bending.
LOL. Exclaim
It
lol.
might be worth
To reveal the truth about you to your conscious mind or to a therapist. So today I wanted to put you through one of these well-known tests. It's one of my favorites. It's called the Cube. Psychologist in Japan.
Yes, what she said. Yes, absolutely. That's how it is. That's how it is around here. Welcome to the shed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Grim Grizz. This is my strem. I did pay the ransom. You should be able to fart if you're an agent again. So, I'm chronicling my failures. Let's start with, There's this video game called Jumpgate, right? And it's got this legend, okay? So what happened was these guys were accountants working on the database. They were doing a database. Maybe you need to be... Oh, come here. Come here. Okay. So there was these guys, and they were working on this database thing, and they said, fuck that. Like, they saw the movie Office Space, and they bounced. And they made this video game 20 years ago called Jumpgate. It was like the first massively multiplayer online space shooter game I ever played. I got the joystick around here somewhere for it. What happened was, I spent like 10 years trying to make that game live. But the team that originally designed it finally got a publisher who went bankrupt. And then they got bought and almost got the expansion built, and they went bankrupt. But the guy who founded the company went on to like get the Lego Universe contract and then not make Minecraft, which was amazing, okay? But so the game ended up finally getting shut down when the second company went bankrupt. And then about 2 years later, the community was starting to come together and cobble a open source version of it. So what happened was, Russian Pirates version mysteriously became playable, and is playable now at the, Jumpgate-TRI, something you can search for and find and play. The thing was, is I still wanted to save the universe since I spent so many years trying to. And to me, it seems like, what made the game so great is these guys were cobbling the game together as they went, okay? So when we were in beta, like they'd introduce a new ship, and then it was like all the three factions would get this ship, and then we would get to race to see who got it like launched first. We would do big missions where everybody in the whole faction came together to do the missions. This is the aspect I think should go into game development, because you see, the problem with maintaining an infinite universe is you have to keep bringing in fresh programmers so they don't burn out on it. Now, what happened was, if you take like some crypto backend to support it, okay, and then you have like coding teams for each faction compete to make the next patch version, at which time the server like people can do something to preserve some of their in-game assets, and then you wipe the rest of it, and then that makes the cryptocurrency go up and down like people like. And it also is like, because that's what happens every time you patch a game anyway. So it's like you could have like different levels of patch with the 3 development teams. But anyway, I've decided to abandon that idea and let it go. So that's a failure I've just chronicled. In my Chronicles of Failure show, off-season episode, something. Here's some clip.
That you are in a desert. What is this desert like? What is living and what is non-living in this desert? How do you feel about the desert? How do you feel being in it? What do you think about it? There is a cube in this desert. Is it transparent or not? In other words, can you see what's inside?
Maca? I spelled it wrong. There's this cube in the desert. Oh, God. That was well played. Well played. So, all right, some more failure chronicling. The book I did not write. Let me tell you about the book I did not write. The book I did not write starts out in that secret town in Colorado Frank Bacon told me about. That failure I am chronicling as the Marissa Tomei pyramid scheme. Now, if you remember, this Marissa Tomei pyramid scheme failure starts out like this. Once upon a time, I saw the movie My Cousin Vinny, and in that My Cousin movie Vinny, Marissa Tomei plays the lady who's like extra smart about cars, surprise, surprise, because she's a lady. And there's this one part where she's like, the guys used to sit and they could tell what the engine was by the sound, by the sound. And then I started smoking the cannabis. And then I was like, if I had an emotive headset like an EEG that was monitoring my brain before when I was not high, and then I got high, it could record the data and watch the change in the brain waves based on the strain. And then over time, I would know exactly what part of what strain, what terpene and whatever had which effect on my brain. And then you could help other people because you turn that into something you can buy into and be part of. For only $2,000, we'll send you a headset and a laptop for you to conduct these experiments too. Your brainwave data goes into a big pool of brainwave data that we sort out so we can determine, strain, preference, Anyway, somebody, this Frank Bacon asshole, as it were, shows me this shit over here.
This is a convenient option to be able to just put on your head. It measures your brain activity in the contextual environment you choose. So if we want to have it during a podcast, or if we want to be at home in a business setting, it's freedom to be to record your brain activity in the setting that you choose.
We're getting data of everything that's happening in my brain right now?
Lifetime, yeah. We're getting activation patterns of your entire cortex.
I'm going to try to do better. I'll edit out all the parts where I laughed and Photoshop a serious face over me.
You can recover academia nuts.
That was a pretty good one.
So because of that, I've decided I can abandon my whole pyramid scheme fucking idea now. They've gotten that far because I did not move on it fast enough and make the right networking connections, make the right proposal pitch to the vulture capitalists. So just that's a thing I failed at. Ha 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 ha. Hideous brain reader. The emotive one is much cooler, but it's only an EEG. That one sends pulses of lasers into your skull in ways I'm not particularly comfortable with. But hey.
But that which is participating in this has another dimension, the eternal dimension, and it can joyfully affirm this. In the processes of time, which are of sorrow and death. And so he comes to the cross, which is the cross of life and time, voluntarily. And when you get that affirmative aspect, you've got a sense in Christianity that is heroic. And when you can identify yourself with that myth, you're released. Do you see what I mean?
The Mandel bulb.
But it's a fact that I'm the seventh son.
More bits from Joseph Campbell. Come on. And then we'll talk about paintball for Jesus. I mean, I've seen some weird shit in my day, but that is just a pain in my ass.
On the other hand, you may flip out. You may have a feeling of incongruities here. This doesn't go with me. And then you move out. You move into a realm of danger. This is known as the left-hand path. You follow the way of your own bliss. Here you will live a life of danger, creativity, perhaps not a respected life, but certainly an interesting one. The hero quest, where the individual is going to bring forth in his life something that was never beheld before, namely the fulfillment in time and space of his own potentialities, which are peculiar to himself.
Oh no, I lost the notepad. That's one I can add to it. Losing a notepad. This one time I was trying to chronicle my failures on a live stream. I couldn't even find the notepad. Ever since I got sucked into Counter-Strike and threw out my fucking shoulder from playing too much video games one time, I've always thought that Counter-Strike would make a great paintball course. You know, Dust 2 in particular. Like, I think people would drive, like, up to 6 to 8 hours to play paintball on Dust 2. And then, when it came to pass, I was fleeing from the evil Portland, Oregon, and all the Satanists because my grandma had gotten sick, and I was coming back, and I was losing legal access to cannabis. I thought, that's good, okay, because there's like a bajillion churches there. And what we really need is for people who believe in God to be familiar with urban combat. So, if we can get the churches to sponsor paintball teams, we could maybe even build one like Counter-Strike in Dust 2. And then we could have like the Baptists shooting at the Pentecostals and the Catholics shooting at the Episcopalians, you know, paintball for Jesus. And then all the people who believed in God would be good at shooting each other. And the children would have something to do, a reason to go to church that was better than video games. So that I failed to do that. I didn't even talk to one church about sponsoring a paintball league. Unless you count talking to that internet pastor, Paul Vanderklay, on his channel. And pastors watch his channel. So theoretically, I talked to an infinite number of pastors. But I didn't actually do anything to get paintball for Jesus going. And there's that. Okay, so do you know how like every time there's a cookie you make, there's an auction for the cookie you make, and they don't cut you in on any of those auctions, even though you're generating the data? You know how like you can with one device have stream on 18 different platforms, but you can't see. Okay, so this is a video and audio feed, along with like a desktop feed, or you know, an OBS feed. That input can go into like 47 bajillion different platforms. And what I think we need when it comes to like the auction for our cookies and negotiating the terms of streaming shit. Like, you know, you can do restream.io, but what I'm talking about is more like you're a content creator that's got appeal and audience already. You're like, you can set your terms that your machine learning algorithm negotiates with the platforms, whether or not they want to buy that content from you. And there needs to be a layer between people. The level of complexity of business has way surpassed the averages and probably most of the smart ones. So now we need the non-human interface layer between us and business. And I didn't even talk about that before. So there's another failure. There's been a war on motherhood, and they've atomized individuals because that's easier to control. Make peace with your family and see how far up the bloodline you can go. The Mormons have all the genetic information, so I guess they're pretty open about it. You can go get it from them. But check with Salt Lake and see what's happened there. That's disgusting, Spud. That's disgusting. I never got the Hand of God field agent requisition manual, the hog farm concept rolling. That would be where, you know, there becomes an agency standard for like streaming gear or the software that we use to video edit. We use this one because so people can just go with what the agency says without having to do their own shopping. This is the point of the hog farm. But yeah, I didn't do any of that either. And I think fellow LARPers and LARP stresses, if you just explain it in the chat, and I'll tell people. Attention, fellow LARPers and LARP stresses. Gotta go live for me to explain. Yeah, you coming in? You want to come into Discord? Do you want to be in my Discord? Does that mean no with the frog? Oh shit, I never finished that either, did I? Hey. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. This is the elusive. The what? The John Wayne Gacy of D... No, the Hunter S. Thompson of D-Live. Top Feed Coco. Well, I was just making a list of shit I've failed to accomplish.
Oh, shit that I've let you down on?
No, just mine. I was chronicling my own failures.
Oh, now you're taking ownership. You're trying to look better than me by taking ownership.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut it and put it on YouTube for everybody to see too. It was like a way
And
to
it worked. It worked. No, it was because it was basically, it's been around for a while, but I mean not a long time.
No, but I mean
it
that's
was
its function. That's why it exists.
No, it's private. Bitcoin is surveillance coin. If you want to pay a bunch of taxes, which I of course do, I love being extorted. In fact, I walk down dark alleys just hoping someone will put a gun in the back of my back. It sounds like a future president.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough chronicling failure for me tonight. Here's the rest of that Shadow Odyssey. Good night. Thank you.
Cube. Now, the cube itself represents your personality, but more than that, your view of your own personality. It represents what you think about yourself.